That's a great insight. But I want to ask Max, how has things been for you? Because I know you were a little skeptical at the beginning,
unbelievable,
and then now you've seen the light, as some would say. No, but you've begun to understand the system more, where like you're confident to participate. Because I think your skepticism at the beginning, your conservatism for like putting your money in, I think it was justified. Like I don't think you should have put in money or been overly excited until like you're like, okay, I understand the system. And some of the concerns you brought to me were like not like unreasonable ones. So like, what has your thought process been in these last couple of days?
Yeah, it's been well. At first, I think my biggest thing was, even with Hedron becoming not getting dumped all the time over time, and even with the new system coming, even with all the we talked about a million times, I was just like, I just don't think people are going to understand it. I don't think people are going to like be able to grok it and then buy in. And that's so even myself, I took so long for me to watch so many of your and cryptographic streams to like really understand what's going on and how the positive feedback loop works and all this stuff. And I just didn't think, I think I underestimated the FOMO potential of when people finally got it, or I guess I would say rather when people, I just don't think people get it. I think like 90% of people who bought anything in the in this ecosystem, in the Hedron, Icosa, Wasa, they probably still don't quite understand what's going on, but they see enough things going on around them where they want in anyways, and they'll eventually get it, hopefully. But that's how I think that's the biggest thing I underestimated, was just how many people were going to be able to get on board with such a thing when there's all kinds of other shiny objects out there that's just going to pull them in different directions. All the meme coins, all the, every week there's a new coin of some sort coming out. And I just didn't know if, I underestimated Alex. I underestimated the ecosystem of how it was appeal to people like that. So how's it going? Well, when I look at my staking portal and all the pulls going on, the percentages and the yield, I'm actually surprised. It's actually getting more Icosa than I thought it would be. I know different numbers have been floating around. Some people thought it'd be high and low, but so I kind of expected the low. I'm always going in conservative. I'd rather be pleasantly surprised than disappointed. So I was like, yeah, let's see how much after one day. And I'm like, whoa, that's way more. Like, how much is that cost again? That's like, it's not small. It's not a small amount. So I know it depends on how big your stakes are and things like that. But I would have been surprised so far. So I'd recommend anyone who's on the fence about trying it, just if you have some, put it in there and then wait a day or two and see the yield. Of course, there's minimum lockup times and stuff like that, but what else are you going to do? You got to wait. It's the bear market. It's PulseChain's not out yet. You got to wait anyways. Why not wait with this cool ass staking pool system?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's great. I think that's a great kind of synopsis of like, just where the system's at, because you're not wrong. Like, it is a very complicated system if you want to understand all of the nuances, all of the relationships. And like, it is true that because adoption is like the prerequisite for success, if you have like intellectual or like cognitive barriers to entry because of complications, like that isn't an unreasonable place to cite for like, well, maybe we won't get people. But also the system is like, can be very simple. Like, you just take your free money that you get when you have your hex stake, which is Hedron, and then you stake it. And then the thing you get there, you just stake it over. Like, if you just like seeing your coins go up over time, like you can do that 3 times over in the Icosa system.